everybody. Welcome to Real Life with the Raymonds. This is Bro Raymond, and I'm Marisha Raymond.
And
We
we are
are
the
the Raymonds.
Raymonds.
We're going to be talking today about love. The reason that we chose the topic of love is that there's so much hate going on in the world today and division that we thought that our first topic will be about love.
Yeah.
So, a lot of politics and domestic violence going on, the increased rate of domestic violence. We're going to talk about, can you love with the expectations off? So, first, we're going to talk a little bit about ourselves, kind of tell you the reason we decided to do the podcast. So,
Well,
Brother Raymond.
I am Bro Raymond, and as y'all know, and we decided to do the podcast because there's a lot of different things going on in the world, and we just feel like we can help with situations that we've been through, we have experience in, and we're not doctors or nothing, but we just want to talk to you guys a little bit, and give you guys a little info.
Yeah, just like real topics, real life situations, real tests and trials that a lot of us go through today. So, like I said, the question and the topic of today is, can you love with the expectations off? Pretty much meaning, can I love you through it all? And that's easier said than done, loving one another through it all. So, let's just talk about that for a minute, Devin.
Okay.
So the topic, like I said, is can you love with the expectations off? Meaning, can I love you? Can I love you when you've done something that's offensive to me? So let's talk about an example.
I think I can love you without when you do something wrong to me. I mean, I think most of the time when people get in arguments, they are have confrontation, whether it's a relationship or it's, you know, however way it happened. I think once you guys talk about it, if you guys can talk about it, then you guys should be able to talk it out.
So what about when the communication is lacking between the two? Because that's the big thing that happens in relationships. Like, communication is important. So what about if it's a lack of communication between you two? The one is a little bit upset and no one can really understand what the other one is saying. How do you deal with that? Do you take 30 minutes and walk away? Do you come back to it? Are we all know that the Bible says that don't let the sun go down on your
Right.
on your wrath. So
Right.
you're really not even supposed to go to bed angry.
Right.
But keeping it real, we all have fallen short in that department.
I'm sure.
So how do you do that? Since you've mastered this already, how
You
do
know,
you do that?
I never used to do it. I used to run away from my problem. But now I find out that it's easier to talk about it than to run away from it. And if you can't talk about it, you can pull yourself aside and sit down and pray, talk to the Lord, and He'll talk to you back and tell you what you should do.
So how did you come to that place though?
I
Like,
had to go to, I went to counseling. This is real talk. I went to counseling, and, we tried different things. And I feel like after trying all these different things that I can try, I feel like
what were some of them? Like
some of them
what were
was
some of them? Like
we
what were
can
some
take
of them?
30 minutes, take a break. If we're too upset with each other, we can take 30 minutes and come back to the table later on. I feel like, well, with me, I used to take my 30 minutes and don't come back to the table. You know what I'm saying? So by the time I come back to the table
The
table
warm.
is turned.
Like the table done got cold by the time he
Right.
made it back to the table.
So, I figured, well, back then, since I wasn't on time back to the table, I ended up sleeping on the couch or something.
Yeah.
And I mean, that don't make it the end. That don't make it the end of the marriage or nothing. It's just, things went wrong, So all you got to do is communicate about it to get things back. Sometimes it make you feel like be a little distance. It bring a little distance between the relationship, and that's something that you don't want. So instead of going, take your 30 minutes or 40 minutes when you're supposed to take. If you're supposed to take 30 minutes, take 30 minutes and bring yourself back.
I feel like what was real helpful in the circumstances was learning how to forgive. Because once you forgave the situation, it was easier to kind of let it go and not let things kind of fester down on the inside of you.
Right.
Um, so that to me was a very, very important factor is can I forgive you? And then I often found out that the problem wasn't really probably a problem with the other person. The problem was how I conceived the situation,
Right.
how I looked at the situation, like it was more offensive to me, or did I allow my feelings to get in place, or it probably came more about what I thought about the situation versus what we both thought about,
Right.
like trying to see it like from your perspective.
Right.
I would say,
Right.
you
You're
know,
right.
because sometimes we misinterpret a thing. It's how you perceive a thing is what it's that's what makes you look at it in the way that in the magnitude that you look at it in.
Well, I mean, you can say something, and to me, it come differently.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And from what I hear is different from what you said. So that just kind of caused confusion between in relationships. I mean, it don't have to be like that. You can always ask a question like, is that what you mean? Instead of jumping in the fire real quick, you can just look. Is that what are you saying? What I'm hearing? This is what I'm hearing. Is this what you're saying?
I used to be like, is that your final answer?
And that used to make me mad. I used to feel like when she
Is
said,
that your
is
final
that your
answer?
final answer? I used to be mad because I used to feel like, oh, she's talking to me like a little kid. You know what I'm saying? How can you talk to me like you talk to a little kid? But now that I've learned and I've grown spiritually and mentally, I've grown, and I just feel like the way to do it is to sit down and talk it out. You have to talk it out.
So we found out like communication is number one key. Two, forgiveness is the second key, I would say, and on how to love with the expectations off.
Right.
And most of us understand what the meaning of expectation is, meaning I expect this particular person to do a thing.
Right.
I expect Devin to take out the garbage. Why do I have that expectation on him when I can take that garbage out as well? You see what I'm trying to say?
Right.
I expect Devin to shovel the snow. Why do we do that?
I don't know.
Like,
I
why
think-
do you think that we
But-
bring certain expectations
Well-
in on a relationship?
In a relationship, though, a man usually take out the garbage.
Yeah, he
you
should,
know,
though.
and a man usually shovel the snow.
He should.
But like in these days relationship, both people can take out the garbage or take out the snow, or shovel the snow.
I ain't shoveling no snow, though.
I mean, you ain't got to shovel the snow. But I'm just saying, like,
I will
both
take the
people,
garbage out.
both people are supposed to be able to wash the dishes, wash the clothes, clean, whatever. But some people just feel like it's the woman's job to do the cleaning and to wash the dishes and wash the clothes and stuff like that. I mean, it's not necessarily one person's job. We're a team,
Yeah.
so we got to work like a team to get everything done.
And I think that's the ticket to loving with the expectations off. If we don't put any expectations on top of each other, it would work out better for both of the parties involved.
Right.
I would think.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
When it comes to like stuff like that, at least.
Right.
What about financial
Financial?
expectation?
Ooh wee. Now that right there, that's serious.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it'll sneak up on you. even when you think you got it right, and everything is running smooth. There's always going to be some kind of situation where you said the wrong thing about the finance and the money. Somebody go spend more money than what they supposed to spend, or You know what I'm saying? Go buy something that they feel like they shouldn't have. I'll go buy something and feel like this is what she want, and then by the time I get home, you know, I don't spend too much money because I like to buy a lot of things. When I go to the store or something, I'll buy. I'll say she goes, send me go buy something. She asks me, babe, on the way home, can you stop and get this on the way home? I'll go in the store and I'll see what she tell me to get, but then I'm thinking about all the other things that we need at home. So by the time I get home, I don't spend more than the budget. So then when she talking to me, I'm feeling like, well, how are you talking to me about budget when we're both making money and we bring the money in the house? You know what I'm saying? Don't talk to me about the money because we're both working and we both got a job, you know what I'm saying? So sometimes she'll feel some type of way, but I'll feel some type of way because she's talking to me about it.
Yeah, let's make that clear. He feels some kind of way about that.
Well,
That's that expectations because I honestly expect him to stay within the budget. It's our agreement. It's what we agreed to for the week. I'm trying to figure out why I'm in the budget and he just not in the budget. So it's going back to what we are talking about in the first place. Can I love him through this though? And that's the thing. Yes, I can love him through it. Yes, we could get past it, but I need him to stay within this budget. So, you know, it was funny to actually it tickled me a whole lot because he was like he feel like it's a restriction.
well,
And I'm like, what kind of restriction do you feel like? What kind of form of restriction are you on when you help set the budget?
well, I just feel like, you know, you come talking to me about the money,
Uh huh.
and I feel like, well, you can go buy whatever you want to buy. You know what I'm saying? So why can't I go buy? If I go to the store and go get something, if you go buy something, I don't say that because I feel like,
I stay in the budget.
well,
Yeah. Hmm.
okay, that's what you say. But
I
what
do
I'm
stay
saying,
in the budget.
when I spend a little bit of money, I just feel like, well, all of a sudden there's a budget popped up. so, so
The
you know,
budget did not pop up.
it is, well,
The budget was there on Sunday.
well, I
And
didn't know the budget was kicked back on. I thought it was just rolling like, go get whatever you need.
so
Yes.
back to the expectations in this particular budget.
But
This budget.
even when we're mad at each other
This
with
budget.
even when we're
This
mad,
budget.
listen. Even when we're mad at each other about
The
the budget or whatever, you know what I'm saying? I can still come home and give my wife a hug and it'd be cool with me. But when I come home and give my wife a hug, sometimes she don't be wanting to get a hug, so she be like, back up off of me or something. But I know later on, before we go to bed, I'll keep on, keep on trying to get her to come back to the love thing.
And that's that loving with the expectations off, to be honest with you. Like not holding on to what we're particularly upset about. Because
Yeah.
there's actually nothing wrong with you becoming angry in a situation. The thing about it is sinning not.
Right.
Like not festering the anger, not holding on to the anger,
Right.
not letting the anger go for an entire week where it's bringing about division and separation between the two of you,
And that's one thing you don't want.
and then loving past the flaws.
Right.
I think that's very, very important is loving past the flaws. Now, I can't say that I've always done that, but I would have to say with prayer and supplication, that truly has helped me
Both of
to
us.
see Devin the way that God sees him, number one, and not to really pass judgment on him when things get a little bit complicated,
Right.
or not to run away from the circumstances when things get complicated.
Right.
So even with real life with the Raymonds, us coming out and talking about it, this was something that we really had to pray about because it's like we're putting our lives pretty much out here in front of everyone so that one, everyone can see where God has brought us from,
Right.
and trying to help someone else
Just to be able
to be encouraged,
right,
right? To be
right.
encouraged to get to where they, need to be.
Yeah.
So, just asking like, Lord, you really want to use us to do that? If I wanted to look back and start thinking about how I fouled it up,
Yeah.
I'd be like, you always ask yourself, are you even worthy of that? But I know that,
But we're both messed up. I
yeah,
mean,
we have something to offer. It's
right,
the mistakes. You want to try to avoid some of those mistakes,
right.
but it's the mistakes that have brought us to the place of where we are today.
Help us to grow.
Yep. So part of the reason, like I said, that we chose love as a topic, and it's just one particular topic. We like have so many that have come to us
Right.
since then. February, of course, is the month of love. It's Valentine's Day,
It's Valentine's Day, guys
guys.
and girls. Well, it's the guys, because the guy's supposed to buy for the woman. So your married husband, boyfriends, y'all remember, this is the month. This is the ladies' month. Okay.
All right, y'all heard that, the ladies' month. So that's a good thing. And then, ladies, be appreciative too. If your spouse is thinking about you, even on the days that it's not a particular holiday
Right.
per se, and they
Right.
just bring home a thank you card, let's not get a little too bougie, which some of us will, to be like, we don't want that. Okay, if he loves you, he gonna do it just because anyways. Even though I love you, I think that not to jump subject matters, but I think one of the most important things for me is the notes, honestly, that you write in my lunch.
Okay.
Those mean more to me than if you go out and buy me a bracelet. Even though I like my diamonds, I'm just saying, to be honest
Right,
with
right,
you, I've learned that it's
right,
the little things that mean the most to me,
right.
because everything else can be obtained, like,
Oh, it is.
material
Right,
things come and go,
right.
but things that have built memories, it's one is sitting on my desk, and I'm like, okay, this little bitty smiley face means something to me. I thought about you today.
Mm-hmm.
So, let's just keep those things in
Right.
perspective as well.
Definitely got to.
Yeah.
So,
So another one, I know I thought like the third thing that was important for helping you to love with the expectations off is to learn how to apologize.
oh, you
Learn
know,
how to
we
apologize.
men don't believe in apologizing to our spouses, you know. So I'm gonna tell you, it's okay to apologize. It frees your heart and it frees her heart. It make her feel good, you know. Let her know that you respect her. So if I did something wrong, I'll go apologize to her. Even if I didn't do something wrong, just because of the fact that she's upset. You know what I'm saying? You got to apologize to comfort her and bring her feelings back in place. Because if you don't, you're gonna have a hangry wife,
Angry.
angry wife. So, you guys gotta expect. I mean, excuse my speech, because it's just like that. But always apologize to your wife if you did something. If she's upset, evidently there's a reason why she's upset. So just apologizing. It's not gonna hurt you. It's gonna make your relationship stronger. That help build you guys up. So, you know,
Yeah. And I feel like the Bible says that the woman sets the tone for the house.
definitely.
Happy wife, happy
Yeah.
life. It used to just to me be a saying that people would be saying, um, but I really never truly realized that after Devin had a long day, like my tone could really offset his tone. Like
Right.
he kind of, even though he's laid back like he is right now, Devin is actually happy when he walks out of work. Like he just had this different kind of,
Right.
he just be like, hey, how you doing? And I'll be like, I'll probably be like not as geeked up as he is,
Right.
but if he comes in the house and something is going on and he try to figure out why the tone is twisted, and normally it's not even him, it's normally something that didn't happen outside of home that we've allowed, well, I probably me, I've allowed to kind of fester. That's why I always sit outside in the car. Like he could never understand, like, why are you sitting outside in this car this long? I'm really, really trying to debrief my work day, or whatever, so I don't bring that in on not even just him, but the kids. I used to do it to the kids. Sorry, kids, they grown now, but sorry, kids. But I used to do that to the kids. So apologizing if you've had the wrong tone,
Right.
apologizing,
Right.
if you said something that was hurtful, because sometimes you respond with the tone and you don't really realize that you responded with a tone. And our bishop always say, we always talk about, what the lady is coming. She be like, no, that ain't the lady. That's a spirit, is what she would say. So we've learned to not blame it on the lady that comes around to see us once a month. It's a spirit. She call it a spirit.
Another thing that I used to do is, you walk in the house and you upset, so all of a sudden now I'm upset because you upset. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not the way it's supposed to be. I'm supposed to be able to, because I love you and I don't want you to be hot. I'm supposed to be able to talk to you and, you know what I'm saying, like, calm your nerves a little bit. So a lot of guys, I don't know if a lot of guys do it, but I know that I do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And because I love you, I tone that down. I don't even do that no more.
And I don't either. I think I've toned down a whole lot
Yeah, I
too,
think so
as
too.
far as putting my armor on and letting everything kind of roll off my
Right,
backside
right.
and not bring those particular things in. But I just want to kind of cover it because I don't want to act like it never happened.
Right.
Now that it doesn't happen now, it did happen, but we needed to talk about how, we had to learn to apologize when we were wronging each
Right.
other.
Right.
So those are great things, I think, that will help you
To
to kind of deal with,
to work through your problems.
yep, loving with the expectations off, just kind of knowing that there's no perfect person in the world. You got to be in agreement in the way that and how you're moving and what way you want to go in.
Right.
What direction per se working
Right.
to go, unless they be in agreement.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't understand that until now, particularly that you have to be on the same page per se. So I really just want to. We got about 7 minutes left. I want to kind of give you guys our email address so that you guys can kind of email us and kind of let us know what it is that you want to talk about, what concerns that you possibly may have, some questions that we might can answer for you. It is real life dot with dot the Raymonds. You can see us on Facebook Live. This is our first live. Please let us know how we did. Instagram, we ain't that great with Instagram now, but we have a couple of young people that's kind of helping us out with this Instagram.
Right.
And YouTube. Thank you, everyone, for kind of tuning in with us on Facebook. I appreciate that. Please share the
And
video
subscribe.
and subscribe. Like and subscribe. So it'll get a little better as we go. But I really, really, truly appreciate you guys joining us.
Thank you very much.
If you could take anything
Thank you.
away, Devin, what would you tell them today?
If I could take anything
If
away,
they could take anything away. Them, the audience.
communicate with one another, with your partner, with your spouses. Always communicate.
Yeah. Always communicate. Talk to one another.
Talk to one another. And if you guys need counseling, get counseling. Don't let that pass. Because I know most jobs, most insurance will pay for counseling at least the first couple sessions. So.
And I know black folks think they don't need no counseling.
Right.
Now, if you don't feel like you want to sit in nobody's chair, that's fine too. But sit and talk to the Lord. He is the best counselor that you could ever have. But in all honesty, though,
Call you.
Seek wise counsel.
Right.
Seek wise counsel. You know.
If you, I mean, if you're in church, talk to your pastor. Talk to, you know what I'm saying. Just talk to you. Talk to God.
Talk to
Help you.
somebody. Don't let the situations fester to where, you know, like I said, with the day and time that we're living in, with all this hatred in the world,
Right.
you know, domestic violence going up, families are fighting with families,
Right.
and we want to kind of try to put a stop to that. Love each other, forgive one another,
Right.
apologize to one another.
Tomorrow is not promising.
Amen.
So you just gotta. Togetherness is the best way to deal with situations.
Yeah.
So, well, that's all we have for you guys.
Yep. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next
See you
time.
next time.
We are going to be trying to air every couple of weeks, every 2 weeks for right now.
Right.
So, and this is our new theme song because we walking in victory. All right.
Hallelujah.
Every day.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Bye bye,
Bye bye, you guys. Next time.